Okay, so before I start, I quickly edit my video to show you first what it looks like on my own install. As you see, I've made configuration for nearly every games, and it will recognize your gun, your wheel, your arcade stick, and auto configure it. And let's say there is a debug window here, but it's an option, should not be used. Multi-K, I can build multi-times the same action to multi-K, there's no problem. It will upscale your game, like a golden gun running in 2K.
I will do my stuff and show take this! You mean we should be heroes, right?
Shut up! It's coming!
It will auto use demo shooter to get you recall. Auto set FFB. You can edit crosshair. Yeah. So let's get to it, and I will show you how to install it. Hi. So first thing first. I'm sorry, my English sucks, so you have to bear with my horrible French accent and try to understand me. I'm here to present you a preview of my project. I'm working a lot of it on it. It's a software that, at the core, it was initially a software that allow you to bind an XP input controller to Teknoparrot and auto bind the control, but I expanded it and now it does pretty much everything. But it's not like a game drive or a build or something like that. You have full control on it. You can use your own control if you will, or on option. And I will go give you a quick tour of it. So when you launch for the first time, you got the wizard here, and it will ask you to install some extra software. You can do without them, but it will work better with. So as you want. Then you select the patch archive. I give you with the executable. It's a big file, like 1 gigabyte, and it contains all the extra file like dgvoodoo or things like that. So, and for some file I'm not allowed to include them with the patch, so you have to go to the Teknoparrot Discord, download them, and once you're done, check. This is the list of file here, and sorry for that, but I can't do anything. So I will just copy. I just downloaded all file, and up. Some of them are not useful, but and it's all okay. Next, you select your Teknoparrot folder. So I have one I made here. There is no game. I made a game folder. I have one here. I will close it for now. At the core, the software does not modify your game conf file, and sorry, my cat is messing with me. Go away. At the core, it doesn't alter your Teknoparrot conf file, so it will not change your inputs, your config, or whatever. It does not alter your game file either, so uh, it's copy patch on your game folder but clean it and exit. It's not even a copy. I use hard links, so we will not do heavy waiting on your disk. It's nearly instant. So let's say I want to add my Walking Dead file. If I have multiple game, it will add multiple game. And this is the only part when it actually mess with your Teknoparrot install, because if you add game, it will really add them in your Teknoparrot, but everything else it will not alter it. So I can add game from archive, like it will take a few time. It will take some times. I have a lot of files. So let's say add that. One fighting games. Right, good enough. So as you can see, extracting games here. And since I've selected the game folder here, it use it here and add Teknoparrot patch on it. And if not, you have to select here, and you have to use the same drive that your game folder, because I use hard links, and hard links only works if you are on the same drive. You can use soft links too, and use different drive, but it's a little more complicated. So I will not take over this. Okay, all game are added just fine. Next you add your controller. Usually it should detect your arcade stick, X input arcade stick as arcade stick, because normally those devices send the computers type arcade pad, but some do not. Some mimic a gamepad, and like this one I just plug in, and it's here Expuntor Uno. So if you want it recognized as arcade stick, I have to press start for 1 second here, and it's done. It's at the vendor a product ID. You can add a wheel, a day put wheel. Yeah, I show Nix input wheel because you can use Nix input wheel too, and initially I didn't have the input wheel. And a shifter, so games that use a shifter will use it if you configure it. And even some games that don't use a shifter will work with it because I made some work. You select your FFB here, but right now it's not plugged. You can't configure a joystick and set the FFB and set the light gun. So I have two light guns on my two sided light guns on my TV. Can set them here. Add done, and I'm done. You can configure extra things. So here it's auto configure, but you configure extra things like pedal or extra button if you have like a pedestal for something. Let's say I would just use my arcade stick. So those buttons are totally optional, except for one case. If you use a Gun 1 that have only two buttons, you have to configure some other device for start and quit game because uh, for some games I don't have enough button to bind them on the gun. For example, but my kid is sleeping, so I will not use the TV. Instead, I will use one gun only, and I will use my gun 2 gun for a year. So when you select the compo, it will vibrate your gun. Should be okay. Next, I select my GPU. I use a special version of the AMD driver that has the option to sideload the old version of OpenGL, so it's better for game compatibility. And my monitor is 2K. So we try to upscale game to 2K. And it's done. Yes. So as you see, it's extracting patch here. Like you got a FFB file. If you are using an AMD GPU, it will copy those shaders as well. And I can't include the execute app file because copyright, but I include the patch generation file, so it will create them on first launch. No, if I launch the app, okay, I've got my games. Like it detects that I have an input stick plugged, so it will use it in priority. So player 1 will always be arcade stick. And if you launch a game, we'll do it. Yeah.
Please select your character.
Walk to the box. This game, when you upscale it, you have an annoying issue with the UI, the scaling of the UI. So if you play it like in Full HD, you get elements that are meant to be here in the middle of your screen here. So for this game I want it in 4K because that's where the miscellaneous UI will be here and don't bother me at all. But if you want to disable the scale, you can always go in game option and set here to no, but here I will let it, and I will change my monitor disposition here. You can register the way your monitor is, save it, and when you launch a game, it will here I will set my computer to 4K 60 Hz, but you can also unab, disable some screen, change the main computer, so main monitor, and things like that. And for all games, you have a config here, and you can change it if you want. It's a little complicated, but not so much. For example, it will auto replace your network config here. If you set your GPU to NVIDIA, it will disable the GPU fix here, stuff like that. By default, it will use Windowed 1. And when I use Windowed, I auto use MacP to make it full screen. So let's make it 4K. Okay, you don't see everything on my screen. Give me a second. Better. So for this game, I don't exactly use 4K because
この番組はセガの提供でお送りします。
yeah, maybe I can go better.
さあ今週も始まったレース TV。 これから始まる興奮。さあ登録しましょう。
イエーイ。ミーのレース TV で思いっきり
Pause 1 second. So I don't use exactly 4K widescreen for this game because then it will add some part of the games like the gear counter, and I use a reshade to mimic one part of the screen here,
さあ
and you will see why later.
バトル開幕。各社スタートラインに並ぶ。熱き戦いを予感させる激しいエンジン音がサーキット。
So the UI miscellaneous is here, but I autocopy it here. So it's kind of nice and enough for me.
響き渡る。いよいよチャンピオンシップファイナル。初戦の舞台はここジェイクズワールドです。Let's go! Too slow for this race. Too slow for this race. ここまでは順調な滑り出し。今後の展開に期待したい。勝負を決めたいならブーストボタン。これがレース TV の鉄則。ここでは様々な名勝負が行われてきましたね。リラックスして。
And actually, if you use your wheel and a shifter, it should work too. in theory, because I use quite a dirty hack for that. So let's go to gun games. So on launch, it auto launch Memoker. Yeah. No, not Memoker, Demon Shooter. Memoker is not used except if you ask it to use it, but for Sidon and Gun for Air, it does not need a Memoker. It will auto manage it.
These are all the weapons.
Okay, so I'm back. For this game, I use 4 tier because if you use widescreen, some parts of the game are crop, so I prefer to keep it this way. But if you want, you can. If you force the display mode to full screen, it will use widescreen for this game. And I want to show you something else. If you use a Sidon gun, if you use a Sidon gun alongside anything, or if you use Sidon gun, first it will auto manage the recoil, and you get recoil output because I use a custom Sidon app here, and there's no binding because I do the binding, and this app will make your gun recoil like a Mamoka. And another thing as well, for games that have crosshair support, like also the Dead, in game option you can actually change the crosshair. Yeah, it's too big. Something wrong here. I will display screen. So here I have a Sidon gun, so it will use the Sidon border. And I've made something a little special. When I use the Sidon border, I put the game within the border. You will see in an instant. So if I disable the border, you see the border don't hide anything. And the other gun, it's one of the case I use V0. There is no issue with aiming on any gun because I adjust. on some game like Transformer Shadow Rising. I made some modification to be able to use HD. Yeah, the game is very long to launch, so maybe not. And yes, another thing. One advantage of using my system is you got multiple K can be binned to multiple K. For example, tech level attack is binned to pedal to here, to here, to here. So I will cut that because it's too long. So I have Transformers Shadow Rising running in 2K and without scaling issue from Teknoparrot. It's not the standard.
Unidentified group is making an air raid. Strike back at them.
Look out!